Hey guys, welcome back to Morris Manor, and today we're going to be reviewing the fenced-in high-voltage zombie. Now before I get into this review, if you're a regular viewer, you've probably noticed I haven't been uploading much. And that's just because, you know, it's only February, the Halloween season is kind of, well, I mean, is done for now. And I'm not super enthusiastic about it much on the off season, especially right now at this time of year. But I promised you guys I have lots of reviews and a couple more unboxings and even some demos that I plan on getting out very soon, as well as some haunt teasers, so keep your eyes peeled for some of that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the review. Now the first category is detail. I think while the high voltage zombie is, a lot could argue, not extremely well detailed, I think he's quite detailed and has just about the right amount of detail. Now I've noticed a couple of people, including I believe his YouTube name is K&T Do Halloween, I believe that's it, I'm sorry if I got that wrong, and Mr. Halloween Junkie, my good friend Josh, have painted the fence to look a bit more rusty, and that's actually a really good idea. I like how theirs turn out. I probably won't be doing that because honestly I'd be scared I'd mess it up and then it would just look really bad, but I think both of theirs look very good. Pretty much though, the fence is just the only kind of plain part about it. I mean, it's still really cool, and of course I love the look of the zombie behind the fence, but the fence is a little bit plain. As you can see though, his face is covered in lots of detail, has like bones and stuff breaking out from his face, as well as his hands like burns, and it's very crispy looking as if he's being electrocuted. It's very nice, and I really enjoy his look overall, as well as, if you can tell, the high voltage sign is very well detailed. I think he is extremely, I wouldn't say extremely detailed, I guess I shouldn't say that, but I would say he's pretty well detailed at least, and I'm gonna go ahead and actually give him a full star for detail. The next category is price. The high voltage zombie retails for $230, or if you want to be more specific, $229.99, which, I get the price. I'm not saying it's a terrible price. A lot of people I know at first when this thing came out were outraged by the price, and I mean, I get it. So, normal life sizes like him are usually about $200. Plus add the whole fence piece in front of him, that's probably going to make it a bit more than a normal prop would, given that he is a bit smaller. I mean, not smaller, just not as tall as a lot of $200 props are. He is pretty cool, and I would say he's worth maybe $200. I would say about $200 is probably what he's worth altogether. And so, while it is a little bit overpriced, but not a terribly outrageous price, I'm going to go ahead and give him half a star for price. The next category is quality. Now, I've been waiting to get into this. This is probably going to take a bit longer than some of the other categories because there's a lot to talk about on his quality. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up on the quality of this particular animatronic. At the bottom we can see his shoes. His shoes are made of actual leather, I believe. I'm not positive on that. I'm not great at materials or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they're actual leather, which is very nice, and I think that's a very high quality thing to have included on him. The pants are just generic prop pants, nothing special, as well as the shirt. Nothing uncommon in Halloween props. The hands are made out of latex, with the middle finger having a bendable wire in it. The rest, I believe, do not have any kind of posable positioning to them or anything like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm sure you know what I mean at least. The high voltage sign is just a piece of paper held on by some Velcro at the back. Not the highest quality, but being it's a spirit prop, not a distortions item or anything, I think I can overlook that. His face is also, I believe, hard plastic, but it actually does look rubber, but I believe it is hard plastic, with The frame being metal, of course, with some padding and whatever. The fence is probably the lowest quality point of this whole thing. As much as I love the fence, and I'm of course definitely going to keep it, it is made of just some, like, you know, sturdy plastic pieces and everything, and like the frame is well built. I'll give you that. The frame is very well built, but the actual fence is thin plastic. I mean, you know, it's gonna hold up and everything. It's fine. It's just a bit thinner than I would have preferred, as well as it's being held on, as you can see, by these black zip ties, which I am thinking I'm probably going to paint, because I'm not a fan of the look of the black zip ties around it. It makes it look a little bit less realistic, given that he will be in the dark in most haunts, in most situations. I'm still not a huge fan of the black zip ties. So that's my main problem right there, is the zip ties, the fence, and the sign are probably the lowest quality point for the whole thing. Besides from that, he's actually really decent quality, and I'm gonna go ahead and give him half a star for quality altogether. The next category is animation. So I currently have the high voltage zombie plugged in and ready to go on sensor mode. So you guys will be able to see what he does here in just a second. But I want to go ahead and say, now that his head is tilted back, that also I'm not a huge fan of the whole neck thing. I don't know, maybe my collar just came loose or something on his. But unless all of them are like that, I'm not sure. But mine looks kind of funky, and I might try to just hot glue the fabric around his neck to look a little bit better. But I will cross that bridge when I get to it. Now let's talk about his animation. So, I really like the animation on him. It's really cool. I know a lot of people don't like it at all, and I gotta say, like, I get it. Okay, he's like, it doesn't look exactly like he's being electrocuted per se, but I still think that the movement is very eerie and creepy, and I am a fan of it. However, to me, even though, like I said, I still like it a lot, to me, I don't think it looks a lot like he's being electrocuted, and I think that was what they were going for. And still, as much as I love this prop, I'm going to go ahead and give it half a star for animation. And now, the final category. The category that, to me at least, in any haunted house prop stands out above them all, which is the creepiness overall of the Halloween animatronic. So, would I say, in my own opinion, that this prop is creepy? Now, while I don't find, really, like, since I've, you know, lived for the haunt community a lot of my life is spent with creepy and scary stuff, he doesn't scare me personally, but I think he's really scary and especially very surprising when you walk by him and you don't know he's on, because his audio is just suddenly very loud, and he starts moving, and he like rocks the fence a lot too, which I really like. I like the fact that he rocks it. I don't know if everybody does, but it adds a little bit more realism to him, especially the burnt up looking face and hands add a lot of effect. And if you guys didn't see the story or pause the video at the beginning, his story mentions him being a like captive in some kind of asylum where they test experiments on people, I think. And I'm not sure if I got that right. It's literally been like months since I've read it. But yeah, I think he's very cool, and he has a very eerie backstory. I really like this prop, and I would highly recommend him. I think he's very scary, and I'm definitely giving him 1 full star for the scare effect on this thing. So yeah, I think he's very scary, and I think you should definitely buy him. Overall, the High Voltage Zombie has received 3.5 out of 5 stars altogether. Some people would complain that that's not good enough, or I didn't review him correctly, or whatever, I don't know. But I think that's pretty good, considering the prop that he is. And I didn't say I didn't like him, of course I love this prop. I wouldn't have got him otherwise, although I did actually get him at half price, so he is definitely worth the price I got him for. But, you know, he does have a few big flaws, which I can easily overlook, being that I'm going to put him in my haunt and everything still, of course. He's really awesome, and if you're thinking about buying him, I would highly recommend him. He's definitely one of my favorites in the collection, and one of the better props in a long time. If you guys don't know, I'm not a huge fan of zombie props. In general, I think they're usually overused, and don't get offended by this. This is just my own opinion, of course. But I think that they can be overused, definitely. And this guy is definitely one of my favorites out of all the zombie props. So I hope you liked this review. Make sure to stay tuned on Morris Manor, where Halloween's in the air, and where I'm going to be uploading a lot more often, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.